Hey traders, Raghee here. Happy Friday, everybody. Great to see you all. Welcome to Charts and Coffee. All right. Caffeinated and ready to go on this Friday the 13th. Okay, so let's get to it. What do we have going on today? We have a couple things. First of all, we're managing an open natural gas position from an agro level, which means, look, I not only am open to scaling in again at moderate and conservative levels, I am also expecting to. I think anytime you take an aggressive position, let's assume the market's going to continue to move a little bit lower. We're managing our open gold position. So we got natty gas. We're managing an open gold position through 1740, and that's been moving very nicely for us. And then we've got the open crude oil position. So we're playing some energies here. I like natural gas better than crude. The trend is far better. And finally, we got a number of sectors that we continue to press because they are some of the better corners of the broader markets. XLC is one of them. And heading up towards our optional target at 83.50. Second target's waiting up at 84.15. And then, XLV is another name that we want to continue to focus on. And so a lot to like in this market. I'm not in any way bearish across the board. I'm still quite bullish equities. I'm still quite bullish energies. And there are a number of sectors that look really, really good. So let's get to the questions. All right, so first up, Patrick asks, YM fired daily. Okay, let's jump on over to YM. So our Dow. By the way, when I pull up futures, for a lot of the futures contracts, there are really nicely liquid, good open interest, good volume, ETF alternatives. So if I pull up YM and you're not a futures trader and part of your brain goes click, not my market, remember, this is going to affect DIA. This is going to affect heavily weighted stocks within the Dow. So keep that in mind. So the question is, let's see here, YM fired daily chart. Please take a look at sector. I don't know what you mean, Patrick, by YM fired on the daily. I'd have to get a little bit better idea of what you're looking at. I mean, YM has gone double green as of August 11th, so we're open to long positions. But I need, in terms of sectors within YM, I would stick with the Dow. And even though XLF and XLK are your two heavier weighted sectors, it's really the XLK that I would tell you to focus on. Now, remember, IYT and XLI, while both, I think people will probably look at Dow and presume IYT, XLI are your most influential corners of the Dow, and that's simply not true. It's XLF and XLK. So if you're looking for a really good sector, I would look to XLK. All right. John says, yes, happy Friday the 13th. All right, so next up, Alex asks or mentions, I really liked my premium daily video yesterday, very helpful. Would it be possible to get the workflowy link? For yesterday's? Sure, Alex, I'll send that out in the, you're in the sector, so I'll send that out in this, oh my gosh, losing my voice. It is way too early to be losing my voice on a Friday. I've got 2.5 hours of chat sessions today. All right. Okay, voice, don't fail me now. Would it be possible to get the workflowy link? Yes, of course. I'll send that out in the Sector Secrets room, okay? Okay, so next up, and yes, by the way, if you haven't checked it out, Countdown Trader newsletter. Check that out, countdowntrader.com. And we've got some cool updates. I was working on the next update that Trish is going to get out there on the Countdown Trader newsletter. We get all sorts of amazing feedback on that. It is literally a resource for darn near everything that I do. So if you're looking for a way to understand how I play earnings, index sector stock, boats and tide approach, how we build watch lists, what are upcoming webinars and classes, all of that is at Countdown Trader. So that is a fantastic site that Trisha's really honed into, really just a reference for so much of what I do. Okay, so got the inside day on GLD. Robert, so if you've been keeping up with the free videos, if you haven't checked it out, Robert, check out the simplertrading.com YouTube channel. And I have just been inundating you all with the follow-up of not only what happened with gold when it sold off, what we're doing with the inside day, what the trigger was. We're long. Yeah, we're long at the inside day. I don't know what you mean by no higher highs, my friend. We're looking at 3 higher highs in GC. Now, keep in mind, I'm not looking at GLD. And, you bring up a really good point. Like, Rob, this doesn't look like what I need it to look. Remember, if you've been keeping up with that content over at the Simpler Trading YouTube channel, you know that I don't look at GC to trade. I don't look at GLD to trade gold. We look at GC to find the setup, get the triggers that we're looking for, and then execute the idea on GLD. So don't look to GLD for the confirmation or even the structure of what I'm trading. You got to look at the underlying futures contract. And that's a great question, and I appreciate the question. So yes, GLD is going to follow suit at some point. Look, we're pre-market 165. So I think if you're looking at GLD for the setup, you're going to be really disappointed because it's not going to give you the clarity nor that 24-hour view of what gold truly is. So I hope that helps. Next up is, let's see. Okay, hey, Lorna, thanks for the for the correction. 83.50. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we're getting out of. I just heard the cash register off. Yeah, we're getting out of XLC. Those of you that are in the Sector Secrets Mastery, we're looking at 83.50 for an optional target from our buy. Those 80 calls that we bought. Now, the optional target means you can pick either that optional closer target or you can go out for the second target and pick one or the other. For a lot of traders, feels good to, have a chance to maybe pay yourself on a Friday. I get it. But we still have that second target up near the highs. So we're giving you guys an optional little pit stop to scale out if you'd like. But that is what just went out. And thank you for the correction. All right. So thank you, Lorna. All right. Can we take a look at silver and gold? Elliot, I've got zero interest in silver, my friend. Just no interest in silver because what we have here is a double red downtrend. So I will very rarely trade silver. My preferred metals are either gold on a real yield understanding basis or copper in terms of moving sympathetically to the to the equity markets. So I'm very rarely in silver. When I'm in silver, it's usually because we've hit some sort of significant historical low. And that's when I'll start a very specific options buying process to take advantage of usually what results within about 3 months. It depends on the window, but we'll usually get a rip higher off historical lows. Other than that, I really don't like silver, and that extends to SLV. But gold, we're long, and we're going to continue to play that long position after the inside day setup. If you're not familiar with inside day setups and you are familiar with Japanese candlesticks, it's really a harami. It's a harami setup. All right, Apple. What's the plan with Apple? Nothing for me because we never got, as far as I'm concerned, I didn't get low enough to get long. However, long it is. I'm only looking to the long side. We've been double green in Apple, as you can see, since the 28th. So it's long or nothing. And it's pretty much been, aggro. Now, let me please remind everybody, I have zero interest in today's candle. I am not going to be buying Apple on an up day. When would be Apple's sort of pullback opportunity? I'd say the 28th was the last best day for that. So I've got to see bearish momentum, preferably into a pre-identified, predetermined level of support and into that bearishness. Those of you that are in the futures room or the options room and the sector secrets master, what am I always saying? Wait for the trigger. And in an uptrending market, the trigger is always below price action. We're waiting for the market to pull back. And that's what, so please note, as much as I like the long position and only long, today is not the day. No way, no how that I'll be looking for that. Hey there, Rolex. So, coffee in a trade. So today, by the way, new coffee from Austin. It's a coffee brewer, bean roaster out of Austin. Trish found them and really like it. I love Ethiopian coffee. And Trish found this place, Super Thing. Great name, right? Super Thing Coffee. And this blend is mostly Ethiopian with a mix of some Colombian. It's really good. It's very smooth, kind of light. If you don't like like my husband loves the Death Wish. And as much as I love the Death Wish coffee, it's a dark roast. Man, it'll just kick your teeth in the morning sometimes. So this Super Thing, super, super smooth. That's what I've been doing today. We got the Viking Valhalla mug today. Channeling my inner Viking for this Friday. All right. Next up, hey there, Tom. Looks like we might have a double bottom 1, 2, 3 in NSC. Sure. Let's take a peek. So NSC 1, 2, 3. Now let's see what we've got. Lower low, swing high, number 3 point, tantalizingly close to to making a double bottom, but not exceeding the lower low. Excellent. Your break is through the swing high. So that swing high is essentially through this area here. Took out the wave in that area. So yeah, now the interesting thing about the Dow 1, 2, 3 pattern that's been part of my life since my teens. The Dow 1, 2, 3 is a momentum breakout. I don't like momentum. I don't like entering with momentum. I like what momentum oftentimes reveals, but then what I'm going to have to do is I will typically wait for a pullback. And that means I'm going to be looking for something along the lines of, let's see here. I'm going to look for, we might wait for the market to pull back to minimally this volume ledge right here at about 265.5 or 263.5. So I want to see a quick pullback. So that momentum sort of tips it's like tipping the cards. It tips the hand. Now I've got an idea. The market's tipped their hand. And now I get an idea that bullishness, the reversal of the previous downtrend has completed. I can be now bullish, right? And this is, of course, in a double green conversation. This is really preceding the double green conversation. So now that I feel that we've gone neutral, completed this pattern, notice the yellow here. Now that I've got everything in place in that regard, a pullback buy is valid. And I would like to see either the volume ledge, which is accompanying the 23 Fibonacci. I don't mind the point of control, which is also accompanying the 50%. Give me a quick pullback. I'm allowed to buy, but I personally won't play the momentum, although it is valid. It's just not my cup of tea. Thank you for the question. I appreciate it, Tom, and great eye on that 1, 2, 3. Very nice. Disney. Oh gosh. So Disney, Mark, shopping market, I can't say that I've got a great pattern to work with here. It's kind of frustrating because I love the idea of being long Disney. We've talked about the 200 exponential, and the closer we get to that 200 exponential prop dot, the propulsion, is dots here. That dot is the replacement on my charts for the 200 period exponential moving average. The way that it turns on, because it turns on and off, it's a self-correcting, I call them smart EMAs, right? The 8 crosses the 200, and then it has to interact with candle lows in a very specific way. That's the secret sauce of the propulsion. By the way, that's a free tool. You can get this free on TradeStation. You can get this free on TradingView. And so this is one of the free tools as part of my TOPS group of indicators. All the indicators within TOPS are available in TradeStation. We have the downloads for TOS available in the members areas, and it's available to activate on TradingView. Anyway, so I've got this 200. The closer I can get to that 200, the happier I am to buy DIS. So I can't buy DIS on the way up as much as I want to, because I was just looking at Disney is going to open up that hotel. What is it? Star Cruiser, whatever that was, hotel, where the rooms look like a cabin and you get this total 2-day immersive Star Wars. Yeah, I'm totally geeking out here. Experience. I was ready to book until I realized it's probably going to be, if they need a set for, folks say over 20 and under, because I'm thinking, that'd be really cool until, you got nothing but 12-year-olds surrounding you. And it's going, what the? But yeah, they have training and you make your own lightsaber, and oh yeah, that alone makes me want to go long DIS. Anyways, technically, we want to focus on proximity to that 200 exponential prop dot. So for where it is right now, I wouldn't engage it, but I like the long. Overall, I do like the long, which is a little bit tricky because the trend that was briefly double red and down. But here's what I'll say this. This 200 is like the equator. You've got the bullish and bearish hemisphere. We are in the bullish hemisphere as long as we can maintain support above that 200. So thanks for that question. Oh, Michael, Starbucks. Look, I am the first one. I will harp on a loss in losers like nobody's business. So I will tell you this. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole because you guys, especially the mastery, know when I have a losing trade, we spend a lot of time studying because that's where you learn the most about trading and who you are as a trader, and if you're really getting your position sizing and your stop loss placement right. In a sea of great trades that we have going on, like I said, we're taking profits in XLC, crude's moving in our favor, gold's moving. I'll tell you what, this is all I see in my book. I look at my account, which is over to the right here, and I'm looking at Starbucks, and it's like this at me. It's awful, right? It's just reminding me. We're out of it. We're out of it. I'm done. I looked at Starbucks in 2 ways. It was a double green pullback. We attempted to take advantage of it. As soon as it printed that second red grab candle, I know I'm losing traction. By then, by the way, and really, we're out of it already. We love our paper cuts. Well, I take that back. We don't love them, but we respect them because, like I said, paper cut is fine. Losing a finger, not so much. So we take our quick little premium-based loss, wipe our hands of it. Starbucks is starting to show bearish momentum. Red grab candles broke the 55 exponential. The last hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi here, our last hope, is this volume ledge sitting here. I am not in Starbucks anymore. It has broken our guideline. We have our trading principles and we have our premium-based stop. I'm not going to be stubborn, because think of it this way. And I think a lot of people do stumble into this. I know I did early on in my career. And that is, there's a point, and it's all personal. Your point's going to be different than mine, but there's a point at which a loss turns into the, oh my gosh, I can't get out now. I can't get out now. I'm losing too much. When you stumble into that dark, dark space in your mind, you're in trouble. That's why you really want to get very comfortable taking paper cuts, right? Paper cuts are not going to put you out of business. They're going to irritate you. They're going to sting a little bit, but they're not going to be big losses. And so we take the paper cut and we let it go. So the second part of this is take the paper cut. And then remember, we've lost an edge in Starbucks. The part of our brain that I think houses some, reptilian revenge process says we're going to go back in Starbucks and get our money. We're done with Starbucks. Lost our edge. We'll move on. So we're out of Starbucks. And while it may bounce at some point, it's not a setup for us any longer. See, I'm already going down the rabbit hole of losses. But remember, gang, as my father-in-law likes to say, remind me, trauma teaches. And it's very true. We don't learn anything from our wins. We learn the most from our losses, which is why we spend an obscene amount of time when I'm in the room and we have a loss that we can dive into. I grab that with both hands because that's a learning experience. And I don't mind to talk about losses because it's part of the game. And it's easy when we don't lose that much. So it's really important to use this as a teaching, moment. So anyways, sorry to deep dive the loss stuff, but it's so important. Miles, I saw your question about XLV. It's probably going to be something we will talk about next week. I wanted the 21, didn't get it. And how strict am I about the pitch? Very strict. I've got to get the pitch over my plate at the point at which I need to swing at it. That's 21 EMA for me. All right, gang. So that is it. That's our episode today. Remember, Friday is not the same as the beginning of the week. It's not the Monday. Don't overdo it on a Friday. We have some profits we might be able to hit today. I will see you all in both the Sector Secrets room later on, in the futures room for the close, and for a midday session. And I'll see you all in the options room for the close. So I'll catch you guys somewhere. If you have more questions, I look forward to seeing them. All right. Be good to each other, gang. I'll talk with you soon.